Hey guys, Chad with Pure Media Systems. Today we're out in beautiful Flower Mound, Texas. We're going to be doing a full networking with 3 access points. It's about a 6,000 square foot house. Luckily it's pre-wired for most of the wiring here, so we're just going to be moving everything down. I'll show you here from, we've got a full equipment rack or network panel. All of the audio cables come out in here as well. All the networking cables and for cameras all come here. We're going to be moving them out of here into, we're putting a full equipment rack in here so we can have all the AV, networking, security, as well as automation and control. We're going to be putting a full ELAN system in this house. Going to be doing media room in here as well. So they already have the Sony 85 XBR 85X 950G right here. You can see right here they have pre-wired for in-wall speakers up high. We're going to be moving those down below. We're actually going to be using the Klipsch RP8000Fs here. So we're going to be moving the cable down below so that we can put the towers in here. And we're going to be doing the Pro 160 RPWs in the wall here in the back. So we've got on either side. So there's just going to be a 5.2 system in this room. And we're going to be putting underneath the TV here, putting the RP504C. So this is going to be a pretty good media room in this in here. Down the line, they're gonna have 4 other zones of distributed audio. So we're going to be doing all that here as well. So we're going to get started and show you the process along the way. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, so we're going to be putting a total of 3 of the AN700 API-AC access points from Araknis. This is their 700 series access point. It's capable of gigabit speeds. As you can see here, you've got 3x3 antenna, dual band 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. It's also PoE enabled. You can use a PoE injector or PoE switch. In this case, we're using a 16-port PoE switch from Araknis. The house is pre-wired for, as you can see right here. So we're going to be terminating that, testing it first with our, we always test our terminations before we put anything up. We want to ensure that everything is correctly terminated so that there's no issues down the line. We want to make sure all the wiring is done before you put anything up. We don't like to do work twice. So terminate it, test it, then you put it up. All right, guys, so we've got our cable terminated down in the study. We're going to go ahead and test our termination here. You can see we have a check mark for gigabit, and we can actually even go in further here. We can see that's 118 feet. You can get all sorts of performance statistics with these Fluke toners and testers. We've used these to find line breaks. You can actually, for example, if there's issues, you can actually identify if there's you've got 2 and 4 mixed, for example, or whatever lines are switched. It'll tell you in here. If you have a line broken, it can actually help you figure out how far into the line it is broken. There's lots of benefits to doing this. We don't have to do work twice, and it's just a quick, easy thing to do to be able to test that. The couple minutes it may take total throughout your day is far better than having to take access points down, grab the ladder, go back up, take the access point back down, re-terminate it. It's better to just go ahead and have to fix it. Everyone, things happen. You may have to redo re-terminations. You have to get all the lines perfectly correct, but it's much better to do all at the same time than having to take things back down and redo it all. All right, guys, so we've got just got the 3rd access point installed. As you can see, it's really just a nice design, minimalist. You don't see it. It looks really just blends in with your surroundings, just like you would a smoke detector or anything else you'd have on your ceiling. We've got that installed. We're going to go ahead and start getting the rack together. We've put a lot of the pieces in together before time, so we didn't have to spend as much time on site, but we've got a lot of cables, as you saw in the panel, to go ahead and sort through and get all those organized. All right, guys, so we've got the rack in here. As you can see, we're going to be putting putting a notch in this door here so that the cables can come out. We'll show that after the fact, but we've got all the audio cables coming out. We've got it broken out into the distributed audio as well as the AVR. So you can see we've got everything nice and laced down here going into the AVR for the surround sound. All the HDMI cables and everything. Here we're doing a 5.2 system, so it's going to have 2 subwoofers. It was only wired for 1 subwoofer, so we're going to do a wireless kit. These things work fantastic. We use these quite often. There's almost zero latency. You can't hear the difference between wired and wired. So this is a fantastic solution here. We've got HD base T going to the media room television, which is the 85-inch 950G from Sony. We've got the ELAN GSC2 controller and the FiOS modem here and router. We're going to be disabling the Wi-Fi on it and enabling as a pass-through. Here's an additional home run going out for in case they need to have something for additional modems. We have the 16-port PoE switch right here and the Araknis router. We're using 3 700 series Araknis access points. We have the FiOS cable box as well as the Roku Ultra, and then of course the overseas watt box here. Let's just spin this around so you can see what's in the front here. We have the main, this right here is the main controller for the control panel for the whole overseas watt box. Allows you to see voltage and current, gives you an additional electric outlet as well as 2 USB ports. And this is the front-facing power button for the whole rack. We've got the Araknis router as well as the 16-port PoE switch. You can see all of the pieces here. This is the GSC2 controller as well as the Frontier modem. Got the FiOS or the Roku and the FiOS box, and then this is the Aircom AC Infinity. Of course, we've got the Denon receiver. We've got a space here for a 2 UPS, something like a HEOS drive or a multi-zone amplifier, and then we've got space here for another amplifier, or we've got space for NMVR for cameras. This houses wired for 8 cameras, so we'll be putting those in soon. That's in the next phase. So just to show you, we've got a lot of equipment in here. It's all centralized for the whole house. Networking, control, as well as media distribution. So if you're wanting a system like this, don't hesitate to give us a call, 972-905-0556, or email sales@puremediasystems.com. We'll put that down below here as well. We've got, right now we're getting set up. This room is pre-wired for in-wall speakers to the front. So we're going to actually bring those down here so we can use tower speakers in the front, left, and right. And we're going to be putting in-walls for the rear. So we're going to be using the Klipsch Pro 160 RPWs. We're going to be putting those right here. So we'll show you that process along the way. Take my gloves off here. I like to wear gloves when I'm doing this so that you don't get dust all over my hands. So we've got the speaker here. You can see the size of the magnet on here. This is quite heavy. The Pro line uses a separate bracket, so it has keyholes here. As you can see, then the screw goes in. So we're going to set the speaker aside for a moment. And move this through. got this one in. We've got it all vacuumed up here, and got a nice speaker in the wall. So we're going to go do the one on the other side next. A lot of times you'll get to go and see how the drywallers, when they overcut, they will just kind of glue these gang boxes in here using just a compound in it. It's basically glue, and then they'll glue the, I'll show you here. You can see they've got the foam, basically it's glued the box in here, and you can see all this compound here, so we're going to have to cut that out so we can pull the box out. Got it in the wall, take the grill, and just pop it right on, just like so. So that's the magnetic grill. Now I know we've covered this in some other videos, but the Pro line of Klipsch speakers includes a paint shield. It's magnetic. So you just pop off the magnetic grill, pop on the magnetic paint shield, just like that. Now your painters, or if you're painting or your painters are painting, thinking with a roller, go right over it with a sprayer. Go right over it, no problem. Whenever you're done, pull that off. Of course, the grills are paintable as well, but if you like to keep the grill the same, pop right back on, and there you're good to go. It's such a low profile on here. Give you a nice close-up of it. We've got the nice zero bezel grill, Klipsch logo, and you can see just how low profile that grill is in there. So next up, we're going to be moving the speaker cable down from up above down below. That outlet, or that wall plate down there, is for where the subwoofer cable comes out. We actually had to find, so what we're doing here is we're setting up an HD base T kit. There's a full 4K, 444, 18 gig HD base T, which is HDMI over Ethernet. So we had to locate the cables that were actually back here. They were covered up by another wall plate, and where you would not expect them to. This other wall plate where other cables were coming out of, there was no speaker cable there, there was no other cables, so we actually had to locate it over here. So we've gotten all that located. We're going to be running the Ethernet cable back up the wall so it can mount behind the TV. We're going to mount the HD base T receiver behind the TV. Of course, we use only certified 18 gig HDMI cables, which we're going to have on our Sony XBR 85X 950G TVs. They're 85-inch 4K TV here. So we're going to be finishing that up here next. And then on the other side here, there is also another wall plate. We're going to move that down, and down here have another wall plate for the speaker cables. Because again, we're going to be doing tower speakers. We're going to have the RP504C sitting on top of the cabinet here. This is going to have two subwoofers. This is going to be a 5.2 system. So what that means is it is wired for one subwoofer, and we actually have a wireless subwoofer kit for the second subwoofer. So we'll have that somewhere over here set up so that we can have all that going. We can actually place that anywhere in the room. We can have it back in this corner if we wanted to, depending on the dispersion and the room acoustics in here. So we're going to get all that going here. So we removed the wall plate here, pulled out the old gang box that was glued in, and we removed the cable, pulled it down, put a new wall plate in with speaker terminals, and then we terminated the coax or the subwoofer to an RCA terminal, as you can see here. So we've got that terminated to an RCA terminal for subwoofer. So we've got speaker terminals here, which will do a speaker interconnect with plugs and everything on the end, so we can put the speakers right here and the subwoofer right here as well. So we've got that. Next up, we're going to do the same on this side. So we've already got the wall plate off. You can see the cables in here. And again, we've got of course, the gang box glued in here. So we're going to have to work with that. And we're going to pull it down here as well. And then the other subwoofer, we've got a wireless kit on, so we may put the subwoofer over here in the corner on either side. So we'll test it out and see how that sounds in here. And otherwise, we'll the nice thing is with the wireless kit, we can move it around and do whatever we want with it. But we do have one speaker there, as well as the other speaker right here mounted already. So we're making some good progress here today. All right, guys, we're just finishing up here. I want to give you guys a walkthrough of everything we did. So as you can see here, we've got, this is the XBR, or the Sony XBR 85X950G TV, 85-inch Sony 4K HD TV. This is the Klipsch RP504C center channel, the RP8000F towers, a SPL 120 subwoofer. We've got another SPL 120 on this side and the RP8000F. For surrounds, we have the Klipsch Pro 160 RPW. We've got another one on this side. So this is a 5.2 system. As you can see here, we've got the grill that pops right off. This is, as I explained before, this is the exact same series as the reference Premier towers. So this is the reference Premier in wall and the reference Premier tower. This is the same component that would be in the RP6000Fs. We just went with a little bit smaller speaker here to fit in with their room. We've got a full ELAN system here. This is the HR10 remote from ELAN. They have two sources on here, so we're going to go ahead and show you. We just hit the FiOS button. What that does is going to turn on the TV. Takes a minute, but just like any system, it's got to power everything on. So right now it's turning on the Denon AVR 1600 X1600H, then the FiOS cable box. So as you can see, the volume button on here controls the TV. Channel up and down does the same thing. We've got you hit guide, brings up the guide. This is basically, it's replacing all of your remotes in one. It's a universal remote that the ELAN can do your whole home with this. So lighting, thermostats, pool controllers, door locks, shades, seemingly everything. So if we want to go to our Roku device, just switches everything over, turns the cable box off, turns on, switches the input on the AVR, the Denon receiver, and now this wakes everything up. Pressing buttons on here, we can go and launch any app that we want to right from here. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the system. You just hit the power button on the top, turns everything off for you. So what we've done, in this home, we've done the media room. We have also done networking and the full ELAN system. So we're going to go into the closet here. This is their network closet, or their equipment closet. So you can see we've got their panel. Everything's coming into the panel. All the audio cables coming out here. We built out this full rack here. So everything is managed. All the cables are fully managed in here. We've got the up from top to bottom, we have the display panel for the oversea watt box. There's a 12 outlet watt box on the back of the rack. I can pull that out here in just a moment. We've got the Araknis router. We have the Araknis 16-port PoE switch, the ELAN controller. We have a extra auxiliary Ethernet cable here as well, so that for maintenance we don't have to pull the rack out or go in through the back to plug anything in. We can just have that right there. We have the Roku Ultra and the FiOS box. We have an AC Infinity T8. This is a equipment equipment cooler. Basically has fans built into the bottom. It pulls the heat out of the receiver and pushes it out the back, and just circulates it so that the fans built into the rack and pull all the heat out. So you can see on here it has a full display. Tells you the temperature that it's going to turn on. Automatically turns on the fan. We've got the temperature of what it's reading out here, and we have the AVR for the media room. We have a total of 4U left over here for some additional components. We're going to be having, he's got wired for 4 additional zones of audio for distributed audio here. So we're going to have room for an amplifier for the next phase. And we also have spacing for cameras, because it is wired for cameras as well. So this is fully lockable, fully enclosed. All the panels come off. If we want to do that, we can pull, it's on wheels, and we can pull this out like so. And this just opens up like this. All of the cables are all routed perfectly in here. We have everything lined up, all of the components. You can see all of the power, all of the electric cables are labeled in here as well. They are labeled in the Oversee interface so that we can remotely manage everything. There's also an app available for the customer to be able to power cycle components themselves, and this is self-healing. So if it says, if it's automatically pinging out to Google and Yahoo, and if it cannot reach those sites, it will automatically reboot the outlet that the modem is plugged into. So as you can see, this is the AC Infinity fan here. You can see the vents for it to come out, and there is an active fan on the top here. So it's pulling air out right now. Keeps all of the electronic components at a cool operating temperature. So everything's in here. This home has 3 access points. It's about a 6,000 square foot house. So we have the Araknis 700 series access points. We'll move this back here. Perfectly like that. So you can walk out here into their game room. Here's one of the access points right here. You can see it just blends in with the surroundings. You never notice that it's there. There's 2 others in the house, so that they can, as they're walking throughout the whole house, they don't ever lose Wi-Fi signal. The system automatically hands off their wireless devices from one access point to the other, so they always have a optimal Wi-Fi connectivity. As you can see. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure showing you our process of this whole home. We did the media room, networking, full rack, as well as an ELAN control system. If you're wanting a system like this in your home or business, please call us at 972-905-0556 or email sales@puremediasystems.com. I'll have a link right down below so you can see all that information. We are in the Dallas area. Right now we're in Flower Mound, Texas. If you're in the Dallas area, don't hesitate to give us a call to have us help you set up a system like this. If you're wanting to do the work on your own and just need some equipment, we are authorized dealers with all the manufacturers we work with here: Sony, Klipsch, Denon, ELAN, etc. We are direct authorized dealers, meaning it's like buying directly from the manufacturer. You have a full manufacturer's warranty. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to get notified of future videos. Please smash that like button and if you like our videos, and look forward to uploading some more videos for you. Thanks.